Hi everyone, I'm Desiree. Many of you know that candymelts candy are used for coating cake pops, but guess what? You can use candymelts for decorating in lots of different ways. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos. First, let's talk about what candymelts actually are. They're a confectionery coating that have a similar look and texture to chocolate, but they're not really chocolate. Candymelts are a unique decorating medium, and when they're in a melted state, they're semi-liquid and handle a lot like royal icing. Once candymelts have set, they harden to a smooth, dry surface that won't smudge the way buttercream icing does. This opens up a lot of design possibilities. For any candymelts project, make sure you melt your candy properly. I have plenty of tips for you on the 3 different methods in our How to Melt Candymelts candy video, which you can find in the link below. Dipping treats in candymelts is probably the most popular way of using candymelts, as you're simply coating the surface of a treat with them. You can dip fruit, pretzels, marshmallows, or really anything you can think of. You can also make dipping more decorative by doing a double or multicolor dip effect. Allow each layer of candymelts to set up and dry before dipping into another layer of color. Another popular way to use candymelts is molding. Wilton has a large assortment of silicone candy molds in a variety of designs to choose from. You can even use fondant molds as long as the mold isn't too shallow so that the candy won't snap when removed from the mold. You can use a piping bag to fill each mold precisely. Once the candy sets, it will take the shape and impression of the mold. To remove the candy, gently tug at the sides of the mold and then pop the candy pieces out. Use them as is, attach them to a lollipop stick, or use them as toppers on other treats. Candymelts candy can also be used as edible glue. You can use melted candy to attach treats or decorative pieces together. Candymelts also come in handy when attaching cake pops to lollipop sticks to keep them attached prior to dipping. You can also use candymelts to attach 2-piece cookie designs like a surprise inside or piñata cookie, or attach candy designs to lollipop sticks to use as a cake topper. If you're traveling with a cake or shipping decorated cookies, candymelts are also great for gluing down your treats to cake boards so that they don't move around. Because candymelts will set once cooled, you can create layered colors and designs with them. Fill a mold in layers by letting each color set and then pipe a new color over that to create a stripe effect. For a decorative bark, you can pipe designs with candymelts. Let the pipe design set first, then pour candymelts candy over the pipe design to complete the bark. You can also create marbled candy bark by using a toothpick or a fork to drag different colors of candymelts. Candymelts can be spread thinly on parchment or wax paper to create delicate, colorful decorations. Use candymelts to create a brushstroke cake by swiping a drop of melted candymelts with a spatula. You can also spread a thin layer of candymelts on a flat surface to create candy curls or candy confetti. You can also use food-safe brushes to paint a candy mold to create color effects like gradients or make a shell for a filled candy. Melted candymelts can also be piped, which opens up a ton of decorating possibilities because you have so much control. If you've ever worked with royal icing before, think of it as a similar consistency to thin royal icing. You can either snip the tip of the bag or use a small decorating tip to pipe your designs or drizzle candymelts over treats. You can also pipe shapes or outlines on parchment paper with candymelts to create custom decorations like cake and cupcake toppers. Think shapes, numbers, or letters. Candymelts are perfect for making dimensional decorations that stand up. Another great way to use candymelts is to use them as a poured icing. Use thin candymelts as icing for delicate petit fours, as a base for a mirror glaze, or as a base for candy ganache to make a ganache glaze that creates a drip effect on cakes. You can also use candymelts to create candy clay, which is similar to modeling chocolate. Just add a 1/4 cup of light corn syrup to 12 ounces of melted candymelts candy and stir until blended. Turn the mixture onto wax paper and let it set at room temperature to dry. Wrap well and store at room temperature until it's needed. Candy clay handles best if it has the chance to harden overnight. Candy clay does handle a bit like fondant, so you can roll it out, cut strips and shapes, or use it for 3D modeling. It's great for making dimensional decorations. Candymelts can actually be used as a substitute for chocolate in many candy recipes. On Wilton.com, we have recipes for classic candies like fudge and truffles that use candymelts. We've even used them in cheesecake and cookies. The flavored melts are fun to use in place of vanilla or chocolate flavored melts. You can even use the melted candy melts to flavor icings. These are all great ways to use candy melts, but make sure to stick to the recipes on Wilton.com, as candy melts and chocolate aren't always a one-for-one substitution. Now that you've seen there's so many different ways to use candy melts, get creative and start experimenting with them. We have plenty of projects and inspiration on Wilton.com to get the creative juices flowing. If you enjoyed watching this video, please subscribe to our channel for more tutorials like this one. If you have more questions about candy melts, I'll do my best to answer them in the comments. And finally, if you make something with candy melts, we'd love to see it. Be sure to use the hashtag WiltonCakes when posting your images online. Thanks for watching!